Hey, loves. Hello. Let's do the dance like boss lady. She be like, hey, hey, hey. Okay, y'all. So, what we're going to talk about real quick, we are going to talk about buying a car. Y'all, it is tax season. A lot of people are out here buying cars. A lot of people, don't it seem like right around when you're about to get a lump sum of money, something goes wrong with your car? Ain't that, I swear to goodness, you guys, I had a run where it seemed like every year for like a few years in a row, like every time it was about to be tax time, here it goes that I needed another car. Basically my vehicle that I have now, my truck that I have now, the catalytic converters are being plugged. And what happens is when the converter is plugged, the converter is like your main exhaust pipe, that is connected to your engine. So, people are pretty much familiar with the muffler. The muffler is the main thing of your connected to your exhaust system that people are familiar with. So just think of the pipe that connects into your muffler. So there's something that goes from your engine, comes down, your muffler, and then you got your tailpipe, okay? This is how the fumes from the gas are processed out of the vehicle. So it basically takes all of those fumes that comes from the gas that your engine is running through, and it processes that stuff. It puts it out into the air because it can't stay in the car because it'll get clogged up. It won't be able to run properly. Okay, so what will happen over time is they can get plugged up because you constantly got this shit that's going through, and over time, stuff collects. It's almost like the pipes in your home, like your drain pipes. You know how a lot of times, sometimes you have to pay a professional to come and clean out your pipes, or you might run a snake through it or whatever, because stuff collects and clogs it up, and at some point, the stuff that is meant to go through there, it can no longer go through there. So the air will not process out of the vehicle. So what's going on in my car now is they are halfway plugged. Or pretty much all the way plugged. So now instead of the fumes going all the way out into the air, they are coming back into the car because they're not able to flow through. So not only does the fumes not processed through, it's also your car is loud as hell. So it's like this real loud noise because everything's plugged up and shit. It ain't got nowhere to go, and it is going back here. It's trying to force its way out. It's plugged up, so you got a lot of noise. Okay, now that we got a lesson, a car lesson. So anyway, I need a new vehicle is what I'm trying to say. Usually, they're really expensive to replace, but besides that, I just feel like where I'm at, you just have to weigh out your options. When you are dealing with vehicle repairs, you basically weigh out your options. Is it a better investment for me to put it in, put the money into the car I have, or would it just be better off for me to get another vehicle? Okay. So anyway, you guys, I'm sorry. I just got a text message and just threw me off. Kind of like way pissed me off, but let me just continue on. Whew. All right. So anyway, you weigh out your options. So when you go into the market to buy a vehicle, either you have one that you have decided that you're not going to put the money to get the repairs done, or you don't have one at all and you need one. Okay, so in my case, let me just speak on my case first. I have a vehicle, but I'm not going to do the repairs. I would rather get another vehicle. So either way, when you are shopping for a vehicle, whether if you have one or not, the first thing that the very first thing that you have to keep in mind is your budget. How much can you spend on the vehicle? How much do you have to spend on the vehicle? If you're just planning on buying outright, how much do you have to put down? Are you able to just sign and drive? Are you able to just sign your name and you don't put anything down? So your budget is the number one thing that you have to have in mind when you start to shop for a vehicle. So once you have your budget in mind, because if you're going to plan on making a payment, you have to make sure that the payment is not too much for the bills that you currently have. Okay, so you don't want to add on another bill that is going to, make things harder for you financially. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, you may just want to buy something used. You may just want to buy something outright that will just get you by until you can get what you actually, want. So in that case, it's, do you have money already saved up? Or are you going to begin to save for a vehicle? So the first thing you want to do is get together your budget. So you need to consider all of those things. You need to consider if you want to just buy outright. You need to consider if you're going to have a payment, and if so, what can you afford every month? And then what a lot of people don't check also, as far as while we're talking about making a payment, is your insurance. So wherever you live, you have to have insurance on your vehicle, whether you're in a no fault state or whether you're not. You're in a liable state. So a lot of people don't consider their insurance before they go shopping for a vehicle. They just know that they want this vehicle, or they just know they need a vehicle. They go and buy it, and then they go and get the insurance. Don't do that. When you are shopping for a vehicle, also shop for your insurance, okay? When you have a year, a make, and a model of a vehicle in mind, so you have your budget together. Now, the next thing is that what type of vehicle do I want? What is, what fits my lifestyle? What do I need for my lifestyle? So, if you have children, if you have a family, if you're just a single person, are you just buying an additional car to something that you already have a vehicle and you just want a second vehicle? Do you need something bigger because your family is growing or your kids are getting bigger? So SUV car, but so your budget is number one, and then it's the vehicle that's practical for your lifestyle and for what you need at the time. Okay. As you're shopping for your vehicle, once you have that vehicle in mind that you're shopping for, or the type of vehicle, you also want to shop for your insurance. So if you already have a vehicle, it's really easy for whoever your insurance carrier is to quote the new vehicle that you're shopping for. Okay, so it doesn't take a whole lot. I know when you very first get insurance, a lot of it is giving them a lot of, it's all your personal information. It's a lot kind of setting it up initially. But if you already have a policy and you already have insurance going, it's pretty easy to just get the year, make, and model, and you just call your insurance agent. Hey, I'm shopping for a new vehicle. Can you check and see how much this one would be? How much would my insurance change? If you do not yet have a vehicle, and so you're shopping around. Yeah. See what I'm saying? I'm trying to do my video. Okay, so if you don't have a vehicle yet, so that means you don't have auto insurance yet, that will maybe be a little bit more time consuming, but you still want to shop and see how much your insurance is going to be in addition to how much the car payment is going to be. Because a lot of times it changes a lot. You can never assume that your insurance won't change. Because if it's a different vehicle, it's definitely going to change in some sort, whether if it's up or down, so you definitely want to include that. Okay, so you have your budget, you know what kind of car you're shopping for, and you will also know that you need to shop for your insurance as you're shopping for this vehicle. So as you have those things in mind, it kind of makes it a little bit easier, because you don't want to go looking at cars that you can't afford. You don't want to go looking at cars that you have no interest in buying or that are not practical for your lifestyle. It cuts down a lot of time, and it just cuts down a lot of time and a lot of extra bullshit. You don't want to be adding on more onto yourself looking at this. Yeah, like, of course I would like this, but I know I can't afford this. Why? So now you want to know where to buy the vehicle from. So you have your budget, you know what you want, and but where are you going to buy the vehicle from? So just depending on what type of vehicle you want to buy, that will tell you where to search for it at. So if you want to just buy a vehicle outright, a lot of times you may want to just go through a private seller. And the reason why is because any vehicle that is on any dealership lot is always going to be more expensive than where you would then buying it off of a person directly. A car lot is always going to up the price of the vehicle, regardless. So besides that, if you're planning on buying a vehicle outright, you just want to buy directly from a private seller. Sometimes you have some guys or ladies who specifically do this like as a side business. They buy and sell vehicles. They don't actually have a lot, but they do this for like a side job or whatever. So you may want to search, like if you have a Facebook page, Facebook now has a marketplace. And so in the search box, like you would go and search someone's name, you can also search a vehicle. So if you have a year or a make and a model in mind that you want specifically, or you want an SUV, or you want a 4-door vehicle, just start to type in some years or some makes and models and see what comes up, because Facebook will bring up vehicles or those things that they see that are for sale in your area. So that is one good place. I mean, Facebook is good for finding things that you are looking to buy. Another thing would be Craigslist, but Craigslist, you do have to be careful because there have been some stories of people meeting up. If you're meeting up with someone through Craigslist, you definitely want to meet in an open space. You want to meet in the daytime. Even Facebook too. You also want to, deals, you do want to kind of converse. Of course, you want to speak directly on the phone, but, when you're talking about numbers and you're talking about, if they make certain promises and stuff like that, you kind of want that in your messages so that you have some type of form of documentation that you are dealing with this person and what they said, so that they can't go back, and that sort of thing. But you want to make sure that you are having conversations. You want to make sure that the pages, especially if it's Facebook, make sure it's not like a fake page or anything. Make sure, you see that they have a lot of friends. See how long the page has been open, because it will tell you they've been on there since such and such year. They may have on there if they have sold something before. If you are looking through the marketplace, it will say, like, give you a history if they've sold other things, or, so you can look at that. Look at reviews if reviews are available. And then also, when you have a year, make, and model in mind, or when you find something that you may like, you want to research that vehicle as far as repairs. You want to just Google some stuff, because things will come up as far as common problems that those vehicles have. So that way, when you go to test drive it, you know what to look for. You know certain lights, smells, noises, you know kind of what to look for on the vehicle, besides making sure seat belts work, wipers work, all the lights work, everything's good and sturdy, no rust, the mileage and that sort of thing. You look for all of those things, but you also want to know specifically for this vehicle, what common problems do they usually have? So, if it has overheat issues or, suspension issues, and stuff like that, what noises to listen for, smells, and stuff like that. So you kind of are educated when you go to do the deal for the vehicle, because a lot of times they're going to ask for this price or best offer. So you do have room there to negotiate the price. And if you're educated on what you're buying, then you do know, you kind of know how to talk to them about coming down on the price. So those are some things I wanted to share with you as far as car shopping. If it is your first experience or not. Now that's buying from a personal, from a person to person transaction. Now, if you, and then too, you never want, sometimes they will say, well, if you leave me $100, I'll take the listing down, or that sort of thing. Unless you have a really, really, you can really strongly, like, I I don't suggest handing off any money if no receipts have been given, no title work has been done, or anything like that. Never hand anybody off any money. I mean, and I'm not saying just take your chances or anything like that, but if you're ready to buy something and it works out to where you want to close the deal, just be prepared. Excuse me, don't, if you have to go and get the money, or just be prepared. So, don't string anybody along. Don't go shopping for a car and you can't buy one for another month or two, that sort of thing. Don't start looking until you have that budget. That's why I say budget is number one. Don't really start shopping until you have your budget down packed, okay? Until you know that the money is readily available, you know what you have to spend at that time. Now, I will say, if you don't yet have the money and you're still saving or that sort of thing, you can still shop, but just actually going to meet people and test drive and to where they're closing a deal, don't do that. Shop, get educated about what you want and that sort of thing, but don't, waste people's time, because you don't want anyone wasting your time. Just kind of put yourself in those people's shoes and stuff. If you want to like test drive and stuff like that and you're not really ready to close a deal, I would suggest go to a dealership, because that's what they do. They're there all day dealing with people. You're not getting ready to buy anything right now, but yeah, you want to test drive. You want to, see how you're comfortable in certain vehicles. I would suggest go to a dealership who has like a certain year, make, and model in mind that you're looking at, and go and test drive and do that way, because you're not wasting their time. They're there anyway. They're not going anywhere. That's what they do all day. So next, if you are going to make a payment, now, if you are not ready to buy outright, or you can't come up with, enough money just to buy something outright, and that you have to make a payment, they do have multiple options available. If you have decent credit, you've been good, on your credit file and everything, then, they have a lot of deals where, they have two different options available. They have leasing, and that's when you are going to buy a brand new, spanking brand new vehicle, and you basically sign to drive that vehicle for the next 2 or 3 years. And then, you turn it in for the current year after those couple years. And basically, you're just renting a vehicle is what you're doing. You don't have to worry about the maintenance for the vehicle. You do have to be careful on your mileage. You have to be careful, dings and scratches and things like that. You don't want anything to happen to it, because you do have to turn it back in. But a lot of people do that because if they're going to make a payment, they're okay with making the payment. And they don't want to deal with maintenance and stuff like that. So if you're able to do that, sometimes you can go with no money down and you can just sign. I would suggest to always put some down payment, because it lowers your monthly payment. If you have a down payment, it will lower what you would pay per month. So I would say, if you do have a down payment, go ahead and put something down, because you don't want to sign for your payment to be this higher payment. It might be okay for right now, but you always want to kind of plan ahead. So, remember that you're going to be paying on this car for the next 2 or 3 years. So, just make sure that whatever your payment's going to be, you plan on being okay with that for the next couple of years. So, that's leasing is the brand new option. Now, buying, that is when you have a car payment, but the car, after you're done paying for it, it will be yours. So in that case, it may be a little bit of an older car, maybe a couple years older. And it's the same difference as far as shopping, knowing what you want, knowing your budget, and also a down payment. The bigger down payment you have, the lesser your monthly payment will be, and the lesser time you'll probably pay on the car too. So the better your credit is, the better the chance that you don't even have to have a down payment, or that you will get what you want. Because when you're going to buy a car and you're going to make a payment, they do run credit checks most of the time, unless you're going to a buy here, pay here, and that's a separate thing. But if you're going to an actual credit lot, they do check your credit, because there is going to be a bank that is going to finance you. And so the better your credit, you know, you want your interest rate to be low. You don't want to be paying more on the car than what it's worth. And you don't want your payment to be so high because you have all this interest, because, you know, you don't have good credit. So you have to look into those things also when you're going to make a payment. Now, a buy here, pay here, that's kind of like bottom of the barrel. I need a car right now. I need to know that I can get approved. No credit check. I can just go in with a down payment. I know I'm going to get the car and go. When you are buying those types of vehicles, please go get them checked out, okay? Lift up the hood, look underneath, check the tires, check the lights, drive the hell out of it. Go on the highway, push that pedal, you know, because once you hand them your money, there is no turning back. It's usually going to be as is, you know, and basically whatever issues the car is having is going to fall on you. So you just want to be educated. Like I said, you know, you look up, if you're standing there at the lot, look up on your phone, Google what problems this car usually has. You know, while you're driving, listen to it, smell it, push the gas. You know what I'm saying? Look at the mileage. Just look at the inside and different things they try to clean up. Look at the inside of the door jambs and see how worn they are. Look underneath the hood. Look and see, you know, check, you know, fenders and bumpers and things like that. Make sure nothing is just put up there just for show. You know, those types of things. You want to just be careful and know that you're buying. Sometimes you'll get some gems. Sometimes you're going to get something that they got from an auction that they don't even know what's wrong with it, and they're trying to push it off on you. So you want to make sure that you are educated in whatever vehicle you're buying. You want to make sure that you are not going to put more on you than you can handle as far as the payment. And you want to make sure that you check your insurance and see how much that insurance payment is going to be, because that is basically adding on to the car payment if you're going to be making a payment. So I would suggest if you are in the market to buy a vehicle, that you do your research. I would also suggest that go under your budget if you can, because especially when you're buying a used vehicle, if you do have to do repairs or things like that, you don't want to be all the way tapped out. Something happens and then you don't have the money to fix it. You know, you want to make sure that if you are buying a used vehicle, if you find something that's wrong with it right there at that point, they may go ahead and take care of it before you buy it. So you want to make sure that whatever's wrong with the vehicle, you get it done, or you have them handle it before you even take it home, take possession of it. So yeah, so if you guys have any other questions, I just wanted to give you guys some tips. It's tax time. A lot of people are out here buying cars. They put the money down on these cars, and the next thing you know, either they can't afford to keep up with the payment, or, you know, things go wrong with them and they don't want to pay for them anymore. Just make informed decisions. You know, just think about what you're buying. Don't just go and you see something and you like it and you just get it. You know, I know it's tempting, and when you have a lump sum of money like that, you just want to get it. But get something that's practical, that fits your lifestyle, and that you can handle right now. You can always work towards being better. You can always work towards getting better. And if you are shopping for a vehicle, put money aside. Just put money aside. If you know that you're going to be doing a car payment, start putting that car payment to the side now, so that you can get used to making that extra payment every month. And then also you'll have that down payment when you go to buy the car. That's another thing. You know, when you are looking to buy something, a lot of times you want to train yourself, you know, like you pay your rent every month. Put that, you know, if you didn't have to pay rent, still put that money away like you're paying rent. You know, it helps you, it helps you to save, gives you that willpower to save, but it also trains you to be ready for when you do have to pay that bill. So yeah, so you guys, I just wanted to talk to you about that. You guys had a nice suggestion because I'm shopping for a car, for me to take you guys along on my journey. And I will take you guys along as I am shopping and looking at things and driving things so that I can show you what I'm telling you. But this is what I wanted to tell you to get started, because like you guys, I'm in the beginning process. I have a vehicle, but mine is on its way out. So, I'm kind of like prepping myself and shopping for what I want, shopping for what I can afford. I'm trying to figure out now. I think right now I just want to go ahead and just buy something that will get me, that's better than what I have right now. And then I'm just going to end up saving for what I want. That's where I'm at personally. So yeah, you guys, I just wanted to share this video with you guys and get something out there to you. I love you. I hope you are having an awesome Tuesday. I want to talk about some more things, but I wanted to put this out here. Put a smile, positive vibes, sunny day. It's beautiful out. I'm not at work today because we had dentist appointments and car stuff. My cousin he sells cars, so I'm looking at some things that he has available, so I'm gonna show you guys that. We're gonna do our dollar store tutorial tonight. So we bought the makeup yesterday, and thank you so much for you guys who have watched that video so far. But you see what we got, but you saw what we bought, but we will actually do the makeup tonight. I want to do it at night just because I don't know if it's going to be something that I want to wear all day. So yeah, we're going to do that tutorial tonight. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I love you guys. I hope you have an awesome day. I will talk to you guys when I get in the car to go drive. Because we're going to talk about some other things, okay? We're going to talk about some things that I saw that happened last night. So, but anyway, positive vibes all day on this cheap date Tuesday. Take your boo out on a cheap movie or go get some wings. That's 50 cents. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Bye. Oh, I think I'm going to do a seafood boil tonight, y'all. I'm about to go to the grocery store. My daughter has an interview. My son is getting out of school right now. So I think I'm going to go to the grocery store. I need to go get some things anyway. And my daughter, they want a seafood boil. So I'm going to go see if I can find some lobsters and some good crab legs for a good price. I think that's what I'm going to do for dinner tonight since I'm off. You want to do a nice dinner when you're off during the week. You know what I'm saying? Because the rest of the week after work is just so rushed all the time. So yeah, so if I do that, we're going to do that together. I'm going to show you guys how I make my seafood boils and stuff like that. So anyway, I will talk to y'all later. I'm going to talk to y'all throughout the day. I'm not at work, so why not just talk to y'all? Okay? All right. See y'all later.